Hello everybody, welcome back to Riven, the sequel to Myst. Last time we explored this second island. We talked about the Dunny numbers system. I did it kind of hastily and kind of quickly and probably not very well, but we did it. And we went around in a submarine, and then we found some more buttons. We still haven't really found Catherine. We still don't know where she is. We still haven't found Gen. We don't really know where he is, so we're doing kind of okay in that regards. But we know about numbers now, and we've explored a little bit. And today we're going to explore the third island. So let's hit this button. Let's go. This island looks much less fertile than the other two. That's a sharp turn. Ka-dunk. Alright, now that we've gadunked at the stop, oh, shit. I always forget about that part. Okay, now we're in this little, like, canyon, crater, middle of nowhere, Nevada-looking island. Is that a lever? Yes. What does that lever do? Nothing. Love that. Okay. Let's go down. Alright, can we come over here? Yeah, there's nothing over here. Okay. Looks like there's a building over here that we can go into. This, I also will admit to you, is something where I never fucking remember how to do this. I always just press levers until I get it right. We cannot go into this room right now. We cannot go in. Can we go? Yeah, we can go behind the back, but I want to talk about this. I want to do this first. Okay, so there's clearly... It looks like a big boiler or something, right? There's fire underneath. If we come around here... Yes, there's boiling water inside. We do not want boiling water inside. And there is, it looks like, some piping to come out this way. We can turn this steam to go 1, 2, 3. Can we turn it somewhere else? No. Okay. 4 ways. So this... I wonder something. I mean, if we pull this lever this way, let's say we're directing the steam out to that pipe over here. If we, whoops, nope. If we come back, go up. What if we press this lever now? Does something happen? Yes, whoa. Oh. Okay, so it is either a grain mill of some sort, or a little wood chipping machine, like in Fargo when you shove somebody through the wood chipper. Because we landed here, so I can imagine someone standing here and then pulling this lever and then us getting chopped to little teeny bits. So that's cute. Okay, so now, so this like powers things. So let's put it over here to send it to the boiler. So now we should be able to, like, do... Okay. Okay, so then, it looks like we can send the steam to this pipe up front, or this pipe down here. Yeah, and the little buttons change. And then, looks like we can even send it... There's lots of places we can send it. And then we can send it either... Wait, what? We can send it up. Oh, and that stops the boiling. Okay, so wait, how does it, wait, what? How does that stop? Why did, I don't know how that worked. What does this lever do? Does the lever do anything? No. Not yet. Okay. What if we push this? Okay, now it's going up here. So, what if I do this now? Oh, it's like a little elevator. Okay, there's a platform in there that comes up. Okay. Cool. Now what if I pull this? Does that, like, drain the water? That turns the boiler back on. Right? Yeah, okay. Okay, so that turns the boiler on, whether or not this lever is going... Whichever way this lever goes, this is still going to turn the boiler on and off. Oh, wait a minute, I see, because this is a different piping system. I thought these pipes connected. They didn't. Okay, so that's going to turn the boiler off. We're going to turn the boiler off, because we want to be able to go inside. And can we go inside? I wonder if we can go inside now, if, like, that platform is raised. If we can just, like... The platform is above the water. Can we go inside? Yes, we can go inside. Beautiful. Okay, we can go inside. However, we cannot go down because it's still... Okay, so we need to drain this water somehow. So let's go back out here. Okay, how are we going to drain? I'm going to put this back. What if I do this? Whoops. What if I do this now? Alright, that drains the water. I'm still not fully sure why, and I still don't actually know where that water goes. Yeah, I'm still like 100% positive on how that puzzle works. Myst and Sign Worlds love to do a lot of, like, steam, power, electricity puzzles. You're, like, always having to turn the power on and off. And I'm never quite sure how all of it works. But it did work, so it doesn't really matter. So let's go down here. Oh, this is like a dark tunnel or a dark vent of some kind, okay. And, okay, now we've climbed out of the sewer. Can we look down? Yeah, okay. Alright, we climbed out of the sewer. That's great. Let's take a look-see. Oh, okay, I know where we are. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to open this little cover here. And this is a ladder that comes down. I'm pretty sure to, like, where we just were. Yeah, because now we're behind the little boiling machine. Oh, and I see. This is the little pipe here that we just climbed up. Oh, wait, what the hell? Yeah, apparently we climbed all the way up there. Apparently there's just like a ladder or something in there that we just climbed up. That's great. Because so if you don't do that, what happens is you come up here and then that little manhole cover is closed and you can't open it from that side. So you have to sort of figure out the steam puzzle. We just did it first. Okay, great. So let's go through this door. Let's go through here. Does this lever do anything? No, it doesn't. Oh, wait a minute. I see a pipe here. I think I know. Hey, yeah. So if we go back, because remember, to use the boiler and then also the wood chipper, we moved this pipe. So let's go. I think if we go that way, that should send the power or the steam to this new room that we just found. So if we go back here. Now if we pull this lever, it should do something. Yep, okay. So that cage goes down. Very far down. If you pull this lever again, does it come back up? Now, is there anything in the cage? I see a little, can we, yeah. I'm gonna put this little, I don't know what this is. This looks like a cage, maybe like an animal trap or something. Maybe like there's like a little bit of a, like there's like a little pellet in it. So I wonder if we drop it into the ground with a pellet. I wonder if when it comes back up, if there will be like a little animal inside. Let's like leave it there for a second. I feel like we're fishing, kind of. Nope. If we close it, maybe? I feel like that... No, because it definitely needs to be open. I don't know. Alright, they would not let us look at that fan if we couldn't, like, crawl through... I mean, we've already crawled through, like, a sewer, so I imagine we can crawl through that vent, too, because we can look at the fan. I don't know right now how to turn it off. So let's go continue looking around. Now, I'm going to show you something that, because I've played this game before, I know that this happens in this game. And that is why in every Myst game, you have to make sure that you open and close every single door. Because if you close this door, there are 2 hallways on either side. And people... It's like a very easy sort of trick that they do in a lot of these games. So make sure to always check and see if the door is open or closed. Alright, we see a spinning dome. These domes are extremely important in this game. We cannot do anything with this dome right here. We see there's a little like window or peephole thing right here. We saw another one of these spinning domes earlier on the island with the village. Again, make sure that you open and close every single door, because they like to hide passages in here. Okay. So we see a bunch of eyes. These are similar to some of the eye drawings that we've seen before in a lot of these games, or in a lot of these sort of places. And there's one you see, it's going through the viewfinder. There's like one part where it turns yellow. So I'm going to see if I can't press this button when it turns yellow and see what happens. It's like a little viewfinder, like a little flip thing. Alright, there we go. Alright, it looks like that dome has opened. So let's go back and look at it. This looks a lot like the big yellow dome that's in like the very beginning island, where the island that we got off with the rotating door, or the rotating room. Okay, looks like there's a book in here. And there's a little slider here. Clearly this is some sort of code or something that we have to put in, and we press the button. And then, yeah, so that was wrong. And then something probably opens, right, or we get something. But I don't know what that code is. I know where to get it, but I don't remember what it is right now. So we're going to have to leave that be, because we don't know what that code is. Let's close this door so we can go through the other passageway. Let's go through here. Okay, let's find this room. Okay, except it's locked. Okay. We'll figure that out later. Let's go through here. Oh, I remember where this is. Okay, so on the very first episode, like when we got to Riven, there was... We spent a bit of time down here on this walkway trying to lower this staircase, but we couldn't do it. Oh, wait a minute. I wonder... So, okay, so we know that on this island, one of the important things is to, like, properly direct this steam, the steam piping, right? I see down here long pipe that goes sort of all the way down here into the water and then back up through here. I wonder if we need to direct the steam piping well enough so it can reach here so that it can then drop the staircase, because there are this like thing right here, this little chimney thing was spewing steam before we stopped it. So that might have something to do with it. I'm not sure though. I also want to make sure that I'm not sure what this lever does actually. On, off, it looks like. Now where does that open this? No. That wire goes, where does that wire go? Can we follow it? Goes up this way over to the other side. I wonder if that wire goes... Oh, that turns the fan off. Okay, great. If the fan is turned off, I wonder if that does anything with the, if that makes it more likely that like we're gonna get a fish. I don't know. We'll find out. Okay. Nope. Okay, still don't quite know what to do with this. That's fine. Let's go through this vent here. Okay, now it looks like we are in this little lab room. This is the door, I think. Can we open this door? Okay, great. And now we can get in through this way. Oh, can we? Yes, and now it's unlocked. Now we can get in through this way. Great. Okay. So let's take a look in this room, which we've not been to yet. Let's take a look. See. Oh, here's, it looks like a piece of wood that someone's chopped down from one of those trees. I don't really know what that does. Or if that's supposed to maybe show us something, I don't know. I don't know what any of this does. Or if it's supposed to show us something. Maybe just supposed to look around. Some books, some potions, okay. What's on this table? Eggs, okay. That looks like the only one that opens, okay. Some scalpel, some scissors. Okay, here's a little food trap. Doesn't really tell us anything about it, I don't think. Some frogs, some preserved dead frogs, ewy. Okay. Last week, while monitoring the situation of the villagers from the scope in my survey room, I observed one of the natives swim out to a small object that appeared to be floating but anchored near the entrance to the bay. I ordered the object removed from the water for inspection. Several days later, however, I was surprised to see another floating there. The missing object had apparently, and quite mysteriously, been replaced with a new one overnight. I've long been aware of the existence of similar artifacts on the village's island, but have paid them little notice until now. Tomorrow I shall send surveyors to catalog the others. So these look like these little eyeball things that we've seen sort of floating around. Alright, this one is the symbol for 1. And he said he found this near the entrance to the bay. So I'm going to write down... So with the other little eyeballs, there's been like a shape and a noise that go with it, but we don't know what the shape or the noise is with this one because it's been removed from its original place. So I'm going to write down 1. I'm going to say found in bay. Okay. Great. Okay. This, I'm pretty sure is, well, I'm not sure I know, but I think by this point we have enough information to know this is probably like Gen's lab, right? The evil man, Atris's father, horrible, greedy power-loving man who only wants to write ages so that he can sort of control the people inside. He's been trapped here and has been clearly sort of like placing himself as a god or as a dictator amongst the natives, amongst the villagers living here. Bad guy. We need to capture him. What is in this? There's something in this little oven. Yeah, it's a book. Yeah, this was a linking book to somewhere, but he burned it for an unknown reason. So who knows? Okay, let's take a look. See, this book. This is his journal. You'll see another 5-point star with the symbol for 5 in the middle. We are going to read all of this journal as well because it gives us a lot of like very important information. Again, if you want to skip it, feel free to skip it, but we are going to read through the whole thing because it gives us a lot of context, I think, to sort of understand the rest of the game. The latest ink formulation has proven a failure. Even when writing in my most promising books, I obtain only the barest glimmers of a connection. It is frustrating to expend as much effort creating a blank book only to end up destroying it when it doesn't work. Oh, that's probably what's in the oven. There are days when the lab is uncomfortably warm from the flames of these failed attempts. The further I refine each element, the formulations of the inks and the papers, the physical dimensions of the books, the more I realize that the list of potential combinations is nearly infinite. It is during moments like these that I despair. Without access to Dunny, my long-term goals may never be accomplished. Nevertheless, there are avenues of research which remain to be explored. I am discontinuing regular observations of the stars beneath the fissure. Although I've been able to track the dark cloud-like formations that migrate through the star field and have proven that their paths are cyclical, without proper instrumentation it is pointless to continue. My general theory concerning the nature of the fissure has remained unaltered since it first appeared. It seems that the fabric of this age has been breached in a way that permits matter to be hospitably exchanged between two discrete but overlapping spaces, much like a link, but the apparent physical contradictions surrounding this juncture defy logical reason. The great column of wind that was formed when the fissure first appeared suggests a vacuum, as one might expect in space, yet my early experimentations revealed the presence of a breathable atmosphere. That Atris and Catherine threw themselves into the void is further evidence that it might be safe to travel, but without knowing its true nature, I cannot take this risk myself. It is also difficult to say what would happen if I were to reopen it after so long, but it is likely that the results would be catastrophic, given the changes that have occurred in this age since that time. Okay, so there's this star fissure they keep talking about. The fabric of this age has been breached in a way that permits matter to be hospitably exchanged between two discrete but overlapping spaces. So it looks like matter can just sort of like appear in Riven, like stuff can just sort of show up, and maybe that's what he means when he says that I was surprised to see a floating but anchored object near the bay, already the object removed. Several days later, I was surprised to see another. The missing object had been replaced with a new one overnight. So maybe that's what's happening. Maybe this stuff is being, like, mysteriously transported from somewhere else. Maybe that's what he's talking about. I'm not sure. Anyways. Maintenance on the steam vent caps completed. I am extremely pleased with the continued success of this system. I believe the construction to have been true to the Dunny designs of my memory, another example of the superiority of the Dunny technology. It's ironic that Atris and Catherine unwittingly provided me with such a convenient source of power. Okay, so this is a diagram of a steam vent, right, and shifting the steam and setting it somewhere else. Okay. As with many of my views over the years, my thoughts regarding the origin of the fissure have changed. I have recently begun to wonder whether it was actually an unexpected byproduct of the changes Catherine and Atris wrote into this age during their escape. Certainly by casting their linking book into the void, they trapped me here quite effectively, but I do not believe that Atris intended the book to be lost in this manner. Much better to destroy it than to risk the possibility of its falling into unknown hands. Also, had they foreseen the creation of the fissure, they would surely have thought that the vacuum it created would eventually consume the atmosphere of this planet, a fate which Catherine undoubtedly would have deemed unacceptable for her home world. Oh, so she's from here? Okay, Catherine is from here. Okay. If I had not been there to supervise the construction of the seal, this is most certainly what would have happened, for the villagers were far too frightened to even approach the vortex without my urging. I hold on to the belief that it was an unintended consequence of their writing for another reason as well. I preferred to think that my son had meant for this age to be merely a prison for me rather than a death sentence. Okay, so I thought Atreus said he didn't write Riven. Maybe Gen wrote Riven. So Gen wrote Riven, created Riven, but then Atreus altered it so that Gen was trapped here. Okay. And Gen, and in writing, in altering Riven to be a prison, Atreus messed up a little bit and created some sort of fissure that's like fucking everything up, I think, is what's happening. The construction of the images has proceeded without fault. It is interesting to see how easily I've been able to adapt the Dunny technology to mimic that of Atreus's. In some ways, the similarities between the two cultures were striking. I wonder if perhaps there had been communication or commerce between the two cultures in earlier times. Maybe Kita's people, or even descendants of the Dunny. It pleases me to think so. I don't know who Kita is. Note, it is... Wait, do any of these diagrams... Oh, this is the little windy holograph thing we found in the schoolhouse. I don't know what this is. Okay. Note, it's possible that if I were somehow able to supply the books with a power source of sufficient magnitude, I could suppress the variance enough to facilitate a solid link. It is doubtful that the geothermal cap generators could provide such an enormous surge. Perhaps I could adapt to the fine marbles. The fire marbles? The fine marbles? I'm not sure. Excuse me, I'll edit that out. Damn. Note to self, edit that out. I have been cataloging the natural elements of this age for nearly 30 years now, yet still I continue to find evidence of the Dunny's preoccupation with 5. Okay, so that's why we see that like 5-point star and like the number or the symbol for the number 5 sort of spread out everywhere. As a boy, it was very clear to me that the number 5 had a special significance to the Dunny society. From the ancient heraldic emblems of the ruling elite to the humble homes of the commoners, it was ubiquitous. Its presence here is obviously a direct reflection of the minds that designed the texts that I used to compare... Oh, the minds... Its presence here is obviously a direct reflection of the minds that designed the texts that I used to compose this age. Further proof that through their art, the Dunny masters were indeed creating the marvelous worlds they wrote, and not, as many have mistakenly thought, merely building links to pre-existing worlds. While most of my constructions have been based on Dunny designs, I see now that the ones that I have imbued with the power of 5 are clearly the most beautiful, the most perfect, and, I believe, the most structurally sound. Okay. I am still attempting to determine how the Dunny color symbology reflects this superior design principle. Although superficially it is based on a 6-color system, I am convinced that there has to be a deeper connection to 5. I will continue to investigate. Okay, so we see 6 eyes right here. We have seen... Oh, frick. Oh, no, I've forgotten to write down something. That's a problem. I mean, it's not a problem. I'll just to go back and look later. Those eyes that we keep sort of finding that have numbers and sounds based to them, the eyes look different too. They're these symbols here, and I've not been writing down those symbols. So I'm going to have to go back and find those symbols and write them down. Because so there are 6 eyes, right? That are each going to have a corresponding number, a corresponding shape, and it looks like a corresponding color as well. So we're going to have to list all of those. Those are all going to have to correspond, and then we'll do something with those. Okay. Continuing. I finally made a breakthrough. I have succeeded in modifying the fire marbles to generate enough power, or the fine marbles, the 5 marbles? I don't know. To generate enough power to hold a descriptive linking book in a stable matrix. I have linked to a new world. It is a harsh and desolate age, but it is nonetheless well suited for my purposes, and so I have designated it my something third. Okay, let's see if we can figure out these numbers. So this here is the symbol for, so this vertical line is 5, and this these two lines here are 4, so 5 and 4 is 9. So this is 9. And then this here is the symbol for 3. This vertical line is the symbol for 5. So that would be 8. Pretty sure. So 9. Yep, 9, 8. So my 98 turd. I think it's 98, but then there's RD, so it sounds like this should be ending in 3, but I know that this is not the symbol for 3. I don't think that's the symbol for 3. No, it's not. So, I think that's... We might come back to this. That's weird. I don't know. Maybe in Dunny they say 98, but then they put RD after it. I don't know. Anyways, continuing. By studying it closely, I believe I will eventually be able to create a more appropriate age for us to resettle on. For now, I will build an office and set up my living quarters there in order that I may conduct my experiments in safety and without distraction. Okay, so he succeeded in so he was supposed to be trapped here. Adris was supposed to trap him here without any way out, without any, like, access to a new linking book, but it looks like he... Modifying the fire marbles to generate enough power to hold a descriptive linking book in a stable matrix. I've linked to a new world. So, okay, it looks like he did find a way out. That's not great. Okay. I must admit that I'm proud of my work. To think that in such primitive conditions I've accomplished in 29 years what it took the original Dunny centuries to achieve. Note, repair outerwear for work on this world. The goggles may need to be redesigned altogether. I have begun construction and a series of link sites for each island that will connect Riven with my new office on 98. The Survey Guild has finally completed the site location for each island. According to my exact specifications, an installation of the domes is underway at last. Work on the central power source got off to a bit of a bad start, I'm afraid, but the pace has picked up considerably since then, and I anticipate no further delays. I'm looking forward to finally having civilized mode of transportation. Okay, so a series of link sites for each island that will connect Riven with my new office on 98. Okay, so the domes are underway at last. So it looks like the domes are the yellow spinny dome that we stopped on this island is inside that dome we saw a little book. That book looks like it's a gateway to this new age that Gen has written. That is probably where he is. So we are going to have to go get him. We're going to have to go to that age, but we can only go once we have that little prison, or we should only go once we have that little prison book, right? Because that's where we need to trap him in that little prison book. So we're gonna need to get that book back somehow, and then go to this age, and trap him there. Okay. These are what the domes look like. This is probably the big one. This is this like 5-star symbol that we saw in the big Superdome. I'm going to call it the Superdome. That we saw in the Superdome. We saw this symbol in here. Okay. Due to the rebels' continued disturbances, I've decided to install a coded access to the systems into all of the domes. This is... Okay, here's the code. Here is the code to all, to open those yellow domes. We don't want to go in right until we have the prison book, which we don't have right now, because that dude stole it, so we're going to have to get it back somehow. But for right now, let's write this down. Okay. So, do we have any of these numbers here? No. Okay. So, here's what we have. Let's take a look at this first one here. We have this curved symbol here on the left. which is the symbol for 2. And then we have this curved symbol here on the bottom, which is the rotated version of 2. So this symbol on the bottom means 10 because it's multiplied by 5. So we have 2 and 10. That's 12. So the code is 12. Then we have this one here. This symbol is the normally it's here on the left line. It's rotated 90 degrees. That's multiplied by 5. So normally this is 3. Rotated 90 degrees multiplied by 5 is 15. So we have 15. This is also the symbol for 15 here, but added this vertical line. That's the symbol for 1. So 15 plus 1 is 16. And then we have the symbol for 15 plus 2, 17. Yeah. And then this is the symbol for 15. And this is the symbol for 3. So 18. So 12, 15, 16, 17, 18. I think this code is randomly generated at the start of each game because last time I played this was not the code. It was certainly not 15, 16, 17, 18. Was not part of the code. But that looks like that's what the code is. So we can go input that in a second. We're not going to go into the age because we don't have the prison book. And so if we catch him without the prison book, we might get a little bit fucked up. Anyways. I caught one of my assistants looking over this journal today. I'm glad I've chosen to write it in a language they cannot decipher. Note: discuss security with each guild master. No problems expected from the maintainers, educators, and surveyors. Question the bookmakers and builders more closely. Today I heard several more reports of spirit sightings by some of the villagers. It seems that under Catherine's leadership, the rebels, or the black moiety, as the villagers obstinately insist on referring to them. It seems that under Catherine's leadership, the rebels, or the black moiety, as the villagers obstinately insist on referring to them, have attained a new level of sophistication in their terror tactics and have renewed their campaign to intimidate the villagers into joining them, playing upon their shared superstitions. The villagers are certainly susceptible to this form of coercion, especially given of late the rebels' increasing acts of vandalism and theft. Okay. So Gen is in charge, but there are rebels led by Catherine, who we need to rescue. Okay? And the rebels are getting rowdy. The system? I think it's supposed to say system. Or ITRIM? The ITRIM traps have been steadily fruitful this year. I don't know what that means. Apparently, the breakup of the islands has not adversely affected the subterranean ecosystems. Unfortunately, I imagine the rebels are experiencing a similarly generous harvest. No shortage of poison for their darts this season. Oh, okay. So the guy at the very beginning, that guy in the red who we saw shoot the dart into the first guy, he's a rebel. That's where he gets the poison from. I imagine if this Istrum, this thing here, that's probably a frog, right? So there are poison frogs somewhere around. They're getting a whole bunch of poison for their darts. Such morbid issues aside, the sudden availability has allowed me to refine a particularly pleasant extract for my pipe, and that is smoother than any of the others from recent years. Chemical analysis of one of the rebel knives has yielded curious results. Its composition contains elements that are unlike anything I've encountered on the islands. It appears they have access to a resource of which I am unaware, perhaps a mine or an uncharted island. Okay. Note: most of the knives have been found on the south side of the village. This is the same area in which there have been reports of people mysteriously disappearing. I think a chosen inspection of the area is warranted. Closer inspection of the area is warranted. The fact that they leave these distinctive knives as a sign of their presence concerns me. They're growing more bold and seem to no longer fear discovery of their hideout. The latest measurements indicate that the recent trend has continued. The movement of the islands has slowed tremendously. My previous estimate predicts a total collapse in approximately 3 months, but with the new figures I am uncertain. I have nearly finished writing the 99th age, and I have every faith that it will indeed be a safe place for us to relocate to. Yet it would be helpful to know what has caused the halt in this age's breakup. Is it possible that it's stable after all? If so, I must discover how this age differs from my less successful attempts. My examinations of the 93rd age have thus far proved inconclusive. Or 98th age, sorry. Or perhaps someone is repairing the damage to the fifth age. If so, it would almost certainly be Atris's doing. Which it is. Atris already told us that. I have reluctantly decided to abandon my experiments into the behavior of the water of this age, as there are more pressing matters to which I must now concentrate, leaving me little time for such speculative research. For future reference, however, my investigation to this point has revealed the following. I believe the remarkable properties of the water to be caused by a life form that resides in it, specifically a type of bacteria. I am imagining a motile unicellular organism, but one with structures capable of holding bits of water, whose combined effect, via surface tension, a stronger force, causes the composite body of water to move in response to heat. Prolonged expanse to extreme heat, for example, a period of extended boiling, seems to kill the bacteria. Maybe that's why there was that boiler was on. It was killing some of this bacteria, which would explain its dramatic aversion to heat sources. Unfortunately, these theories are still not fully tested, and I remain ignorant of both its deeper nature and its possible uses. Whew, this is long. An exciting development. Last night, a squad of maintainers stumbled upon a lone rebel scout and obtained him for most incredible... Last night, a squad of maintainers stumbled upon a lone rebel scout and obtained from him a most incredible device. It is a crystal that somehow powers these flawed linking books, much as my own system does, but with an obvious advantage. It is small and weighs only a few pounds, making it completely portable. Catherine must have fabricated the device before I captured her, obviously with an explicit dunny schematic that she must have brought with her to this age. If only I had access to such a document all these years. Regardless, I can now concentrate solely on the writing of ages and need no longer worry about building elaborate power supplies for each new book I write. This is a sobering reminder, however, that I must continue to seek an avenue to Dunny. Regaining access to the resources there may be crucial to the completion of my mission, which I still don't know, what his mission is. Okay, that's it. Okay. Whew. Okay, so we learned a lot from here. We learned, we got the code. We learned about what Gen is sort of doing here. He talked a little bit about in here about how the islands are moving, and I think how they used to be one island. So Riven, in writing this age as a prison for Gen, it looks like these islands have separated, right? And the villagers or Gen or somebody has adapted and has created a lot of these sort of this car system to traverse the islands, even though they all used to be one island. Okay, that was pretty long. What we're going to do now is we're going to go to the next island, but we're going to do that. Oh, I think I need to, hang on, is there a call button? Yeah, I think the call button is inside here, so let me go find this. Because that was a lot of reading, and now my voice, I wonder if this is the call button. I bet you it is. I bet you that car is there now, or it will be there in a second. Yep, it is down there. Okay, so we are going to go to the fourth island of Riven, but we're going to do that next time. So until then, thank you so much for watching, and until we see each other again.